Hi, my name is Mike, and if you follow my channel, you know I typically post videos of things like how-to videos on car repair and computer repair. This video is going to be something a little bit different. I wanted to do a walk around of my new 2023 Rivian R1T pickup truck. I got this truck in March of 2023. I actually got it on March 31st, and today is July 27th. So I've now had it for just about 4 months. I've put over 3,000 miles on it, and it is definitely the best truck I've ever owned. I know this is a pretty new model. A lot of people are not familiar with it yet. Mine was the 19,000th one built. I believe they're now up to around 26 or 27,000 of the R1T. They also make the R1S SUV and the EDV, which is currently an electronic delivery vehicle being used by Amazon and hopefully rolled out to other customers in the future. As with my other videos, I'm going to start at the back of the vehicle. I'm going to walk around it, show you some of the features of the outside, and then we'll step in the cab and I'll show you some of the features of the interior of the vehicle as well. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm still learning a lot about this truck myself, and answering other people's questions helps me learn more about it as well, so I really appreciate it. And we'll start at the back and walk our way around. Starting at the back of the vehicle, you can see the bed of the pickup truck, which is a 4.5-foot bed. You can release that either with the fob button or with the button on the dashboard of the vehicle on the digital display, or with the button here at the back. It's 4.5 feet long when closed. Open, it extends to 7 feet, so it does give you enough room to carry a 4x8 sheet of plywood. It's got some tie-down rings in each corner, and some people have modified these hold downs here to accept additional tie downs. Mine does not have the bed cover. That's an optional accessory. It's currently being redesigned. The initial powered cover had some issues and there was a few recalls on it, so they've pulled that back for redesign. I typically don't cover my bed anyway, so it wasn't really something that I was interested in. I do have, it's a plastic bed. Unfortunately, it's not steel. I wish it was a little bit stronger, but I've got some covers here to help protect it while I'm working. And I just pull that other cover out to protect the entire bed. Over there on the side, you can see the gear guard, and this is a secure locking cable for any accessories. A lot of people use it for like mountain bikes, bicycles, dirt bikes that they might carry in the bed, sporting equipment. I just throw my ladder through there because I don't want somebody to run off with my ladder. Under this cover is an air compressor, and you can see you can set that different. Over here on this side are some household style electrical outlets. There's a total of 4 of these electrical outlets throughout the vehicle, one in the back seat, one in the gear tunnel, which I'll get to in a moment, and then the 2 here in the bed. This is an emergency release. If you did have the cover and you were somehow trapped in here, this would open. You could press this to let yourself out. There's one of those for the frunk as well, which is the front trunk. So underneath the bed, there is a storage compartment where the spare tire would go if you have the spare tire. And again, that's also an optional accessory at this point on the Rivian. So for me, bear with me, it's kind of hard to do some of these things while holding a camera at the same time, but you can see that's a nice large storage area underneath of there that I just keep mine filled up with tools. With the tailgate back up, I'm going to sit on the ground here for just 1 second, and I'm going to show you the cover under here, which I'm not going to remove it, but I'll just point to where they are. There's 2 screws, 2 plastic screws, and you can undo those with a standard flathead screwdriver or a coin in a pinch. This whole panel pops down. Behind there is the tow hitch. The Rivian R1T has 835 horsepower, over 900 foot-pound of torque, and can tow 11,000 pounds. These trucks are a towing beast. Plenty of people in the forums tow huge loads, 7, 8, 9,000 pounds with ease. There is some range impact when towing something that large, but no different than the range impact you would have with a standard ICE gas-powered vehicle. Walking along the side, along the top edge, you've got some additional tie-down points. There are 4 of these, 2 on either side of the bed, and 2 more up here on either side of the roof. So that brings us to the gear tunnel. This is super exciting for a lot of people who've never seen this on a truck before. Although the Rivian has a short bed, what it lacks in bed, it makes up for in ingenuity. There is a ton of storage spaces inside this vehicle and places where you can put tools. You can see in mine, I've got it completely full of tools. It does have 12 volt and 120 volt electrical outlets in there as well. On either side, there's a compartment. This side has the hose for the air compressor as well as some adapters. And on the other side, there is a first aid kit. The gear tunnel runs the complete width of the vehicle and also has a pass-through into the passenger compartment at the back seat. The joke is if you have an animal in the gear tunnel, it can stick its head through there, but it's just kind of a neat little pass-through for storing odd-sized equipment. Along the side of the vehicle, you see that the Rivian does have path lights which illuminate from the bottom of the side mirrors, which are folding, as well as the recessed door handles. A lot of nice electronic gadgetry, I guess you could say. There's cameras all around the vehicle, here, at the front and the back of the vehicle as well, for the full 360-degree panorama view, which is also used for the cruise control and the Driver Plus driver assistance feature, which is basically like similar to a Tesla autopilot. It's not quite as developed yet. Obviously, the Teslas have had a lot more years to work on that in their vehicles, and Rivian is not quite there yet, but it'll get there, just like Tesla will. Tesla's not quite perfected the full self-driving yet either. But here at the front of the driver's side, charging port right there, you just touch it on the side, this slides open, and it's got the CCS port here, and then the fast charging port below that. Tow hooks along the front. This is a snap plate, front license plate adapter. My state requires a front license plate. Not every state does, so you may or may not have this on your vehicle. Also at the front of the vehicle is the hood, or frunk, as they're typically called on EVs, the front trunk. And on the Rivian, you can open it with a button underneath. You can also open it from the dash panel, the fob, or the app. Really, a lot of these features I'm showing you can all be done with the app of the vehicle. You can start the climate control, you can vent the windows, you can pop the hood, pop the trunk. Pretty much everything that you can do from inside the vehicle, a lot of that functionality is built into the app as well. So it's a really nice app. You know, it's a hot day and you want to turn on the cool seats before you come outside. You can do all that through the app. Have everything ready for you. So the frunk is awesome. Tons of storage space in here. You can see I pretty much just use mine for some additional tools. And I'm going to set that out, and then some blankets for when I have the wife or the dog in the car. Underneath all this stuff this lifts up. Additional space for more tools, some jack pucks, some charging accessory cables over there. The Rivian cannot be lifted with a normal jack, or it shouldn't be. They typically recommend that you get something like a jack puck, which allows you to lift the vehicle safely from its lift points. Obviously, there is a 7,000-pound battery underneath this vehicle, so you do not want to lift it incorrectly. Also in the front, you've got some lights. There's a magnet. Let's see so it'll hold that up. There's a little mesh basket here. Some of the 2022s, the earlier models, also had a 12-volt outlet in the front, which was really nice for powering things like a cooler. There have been some cost cuts as they've ramped up production. That 12-volt outlet that used to be here is gone on mine, as well as a 12-volt outlet that used to be under the dash on some of the earlier model vehicles. So some mid-year production changes to streamline production by eliminating things that weren't as often used. In addition to the high voltage battery, there are two 12-volt batteries underneath this cover that run some of the electrical systems. And I should have mentioned, around the back of the vehicle next to the trailer hitch, there is a jump point. So if something happened to your electrical system, you can pull that cover off and hook up a battery charger straight to the back of the vehicle. Again, there's some redesign changes going as they ramp up production on this vehicle. Some of the ones that are newer than mine have a single 12-volt battery and a capacitor, a large capacitor, instead of 2 batteries. But really, that's getting down into some more details than I planned on going into on this vehicle. It's all pretty interesting stuff that you can read about on the forums. The only things under here that you need to change are there's some washer fluid, and there's a brake fluid reservoir underneath this plastic cover, which is just held on with some plastic retainer snaps. So we can go ahead, close this up. And it is power closed. Very nice. Look at the vehicle along the passenger side. There's not really anything additional over here that I haven't already shown you that wasn't on the driver's side. There's the opposite side gear tunnel door over there, which again is opened by pressing this button up here, or you can open it through the app or through the dashboard display. One thing I'll show over here, there's my Rivian wall charger, and there's a lot of different types of chargers that work with this. This is just the one that I got, and it'll charge the vehicle up overnight. I really can't speak highly enough for how much I've enjoyed being able to charge at home. With my old truck, I was having to stop for gas 2 or sometimes 3 times a week. I drive a lot, and being able to just, instead of having to, go to the gas station, wait in line for gas, pump gas, it was just getting so frustrating for me to have to do that several times a week. Now I can just come home, pull into my garage, plug in, charge overnight, ready to go in the morning. It is such a time savings to me to be able to charge at home, and it enables me to spend more time with my family, which is really the most important thing in my life. Including those little buggers over there who want to go outside. That is Ace, and that's the one walking towards me, and Sydney over there against the wall. These are a pair of rescue cats that were abandoned in our neighborhood, and we've taken them in, and we moved here with 1 cat, and now we have 4. They live in our garage. They have heat, they have air conditioning, they have plenty of food out here, and it's a lot better than living on the mean streets of Manassas Park for these 2 little ones. Sydney was pregnant when she came in, and she had a litter of kittens who unfortunately didn't make it. She was very sick, but she's better now. She just wants to go outside. Want to go outside? I'll open the door for you in a little bit. We still give them some free roam time. They're probably like, Daddy, what are you doing in here recording a video? But let's go back to the truck. Looking at the truck from the back seat, you can see some of the controls on the doors, obviously window, mechanical door handle release. I've installed some Rivian floor mats in here to protect the carpeting. It did come originally with the nice green floor mats that match the interior colors, and I just put these harder ones down here to protect the interior a little bit more. I don't really use the back seat. I would actually rather prefer that if it had a shorter back seat and a longer bed, but that's how everybody designs their trucks now these days, to have a full-size cab and a short bed. Unfortunately, that doesn't work as well for my lifestyle, but the market is what it is. You can see the back seats flip up, and there's some storage underneath on this side. I just keep some additional tools under there. We'll pull this down, and you'll see there's the pass-through there into the gear tunnel. I could let the cats go through there if they wanted to. Some cup holders over here. This is locked out right now because, again, I don't really use this. This is the display that allows you to control the climate control from back here, as well as things like the rear heated seats. I just have most of that stuff disabled because I don't really use it. Mat pockets in the back of the seats. There are USB ports in the center, as well as USB-C ports in the center console, as well as USB-C ports in the back of the headrests. I think this is more for like entertaining rear seat passengers, if you had your kids back here. Really more useful in the SUV variant, I think. Somebody that's hauling their 5 kids to soccer practice and they need to use their tablets or whatever in the back seat. Great for them. Not so practical for me, but, they're there. I might use them for something someday. Over here on the doors, each of the doors all the way around has these pockets. These are expandable so they can stuff oversized items in there. Mine has the Meridian Elevation audio system. This is being replaced with an in-house Rivian audio system on certain more recent VINs, I believe starting in late March, early April, they are switching out the audio system on some of these. So again, just some different reconfigurations, mid-year model changes that you might see in another Rivian or another Rivian video. It does have the panoramic glass roof all the way across, and I don't know how well they're going to show up in here, but there are speakers there. There are speakers there. It's a 19-speaker Meridian elevation audio system, and it sounds amazing. Now with the driver's door open, we're going to look at some of the features of the dashboard and the instrument cluster. Again, standard controls for any vehicle over here on the driver's door: power window, buttons, mechanical door opener, pocket, expandable pocket, speakers. I've put, and you probably can't see it here, I've put some film over the sill panels here just to give it some additional protection. There's a clear vinyl plastic piece over top of here just to protect it from my boots scraping it up when I go in and out. And again, this is the forest green, forest edge interior. There's several different interior options. I believe they're up to 5 now. They might not have put all of them into production yet, but there's a white interior, a black interior, as well as an interior that doesn't have this, or 2 interiors that don't have this wood grain paneling. This is real wood right here, and it extends throughout the cabin to the door panels and a few other places within the interior of the vehicle, the steering wheel, etc. So let's go ahead and close that door. Very quiet cabin. You might hear some air moving from the HVAC system. Up at the top, we've got an SOS button and emergency flashers. Lighted vanity mirrors. I know that's not a big deal. From my old work truck, didn't have, this was the first vehicle I had in quite a few years that had lighted vanity mirrors. This is really a premium luxury vehicle, and you can tell by the wood grain in here and some of the fit and finish of the materials that they were really aiming for a luxury market with this vehicle. So this is the launch edition, and you can see over here it's got a tag that says that, which basically just meant that it came with a few extra options that a standard vehicle wouldn't have. I've got the wristband to open the doors, which a lot of people on the forums are pretty excited about. They want that. They want, everybody wants the wristband. I have it. I've never even used it. Just kind of a cool thing. It depends on your lifestyle. Some people might want to unlock the car with the wristband, which I can see that being really convenient. I typically use the fob or the PAK, P-A-A-K phone as a key, which is what I would typically use to unlock my vehicle. So on the dashboard, you can see the efficiency over there. We can change that to the tire pressure. Right now it's not showing anything because the vehicle's not running. You can see it says press brake to start. Some of the other things on the dashboard, there's my range right there. 207 miles. Fully charged gets about a little over 300 miles. And that'll vary, obviously, depending on your driving style and what tires you have on the vehicle. The newer dual motor vehicles weigh less and they have a longer range as well. Let's just cycle through some of the other stuff there. You can see there's a sort of a mini heads-up map, and I like to keep mine on the efficiency. The main screen over here, this is where all the action is. This gives you your navigation, which allows you can speak to it. It has Amazon Alexa. Hi, Alexa. Yeah, it doesn't know how to respond to that. I'm sure everybody's Alexa just woke up in their house. So let's try to not say that word anymore. So when you're using the navigation, you can come over here. You can hit this to pull up different settings. And you can, if you're looking for charging stations, you can say what model charging stations you want, and the speed if you only want fast charging. So just to, you could say, I want to go to Electrify America. The app has a lot of navigation features as well. Rivian recently bought out a Better Route Planner, which was a very popular route planning service. So you can say, well, I'm traveling from here to Atlanta, Georgia, or New York, or wherever, and you put all that information into the route planner, and it'll route you in such a way that you'll hit sufficient charging stations along the way if your route and level of charge call for it. I've only one time have I ever needed to charge. I didn't even need to charge away from home. I just did it one time as a test. Music, there's FM radio, Spotify, TuneIn, Tidal, Alexa radio, or phone. I said Alexa again. Some settings, 3D audio. It does not have a Pandora app natively. However, it can play Pandora if you go through Alexa. And Alexa's going to keep waking up because I keep saying its name. It does not have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, which is a sticking point for a lot of people who particularly care for those features. I'm a big fan of Android Auto, and I would rather have that than this gal right here, but it is what it is. Rivian has a very large deal with Amazon. They're a very large stockholder, and until they can get away from Amazon a little bit, then we're stuck with this gal here. Let's just get through some of the menu options here real quick. I know this video is getting a little long. Open hood, open charge port, open the gear tunnels, open the tailgate. There's all those things that I was talking about being able to do from the center display. You can adjust the lighting parameters, the cabin lighting, accent lighting. Cameras, you see there's an overhead, and you can switch to different types of camera views, rear camera view. Really great for, there's the cat. There's one of them. Really great camera views. I really enjoy having this 360-degree view. The Rivian R1T is a large vehicle. It is 18 feet long, and I believe it's 79 inches wide with the mirrors retracted. So with them out, it's over 80 inches wide. It is a large vehicle. It's tight fitting through my standard size garage door right here. A lot of people on the forums will have posted that, hey, we're not able to fit our Rivian in our garage. It is a big truck. The SUV is not as long. So if you're considering an SUV, you might think it would be the opposite because it's got the third row of seating, but because the SUV doesn't have the bed, it doesn't have the gear tunnel, it's configured in such a way that it is not physically as long a vehicle. So just something to think about if you have a house with a short garage. So state of charge right there, range based on all-purpose, charge limits, outlets on. You can set a charging schedule, so if your power company provides cheaper power or cheaper rates at certain times a day, you can schedule it to only charge during that schedule. So we've got that deal here where our electricity is 4 cents cheaper per kilowatt hour. So, I just set it to charge at night when not as much electrical demand is on the infrastructure. This guy over here, this gives us some of our range modes: all-purpose, sport, conserve, snow, off-road, towing. Drive mode's not ready because the vehicle's not started. I'd have to press the brake pedal for that. Ride, soft, brake regen. So this is a one-pedal driving vehicle. If you've never driven one pedal before, what that means is when you take your foot off the accelerator, the vehicle will automatically begin to slow down, and the brake regen will kick in, so it'll pull that energy back into the vehicle's electrical system, and you can change that from standard to a higher level, which means the vehicle will come to a stop more rapidly when you take your foot off of the accelerator pedal, and more energy will be transferred back into the vehicle. You've got some adjustments for ride height. It's got a 4-point air suspension. All strut corners are air shocks. So you can raise and lower the vehicle to many different ride heights depending on which mode you're using. I should mention towing mode. When you plug in a trailer, it automatically switches to towing mode, but you can then take it out if you want to use conserve or one of the other modes. Manual controls on the steering wheel, manual controls for things like cruise control over here. Driver Plus is also set through this, switching gears. So it's not quite like a Tesla where everything is done through the dashboard. The Rivian does have mechanical hand controls for more functionality. Washers, headlights, all of those things can all be controlled through the stalks. Looking back over here again, I'm sorry I'm jumping around a little bit. Again, I've never had to explain this to anyone, and so explaining it to other people helps me learn better. It has a built-in AT&T 4G cellular modem, so this little icon right here is telling us that the hotspot is off. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi is connected to ours at our home. Outside temperature, strength of the AT&T LTE system. Right now that is free. I believe in the future they may have a subscription fee for that, but as of right now, anybody that gets a Rivian, you're getting all of this stuff built in for free. You don't have to pay anything extra for the hotspot, the navigation. It's all included with the vehicle. This one over here, lock and unlock the door, that's me. This sets that'll start recording a clip onto the internal storage. Obviously, we don't need to save a clip of that. It records a panoramic around the vehicle. It's a drive cam functionality. This opens and closes the garage door. This triggers Alexa. This shows if you have any notifications. Let's see. A new feature that they recently added is to customize these apps down at the bottom. So you can swipe up and you can see more settings. Phone, gear guard, camping mode, owner's guide settings. There's the drive mode screen that I was just showing you. Camping mode is kind of neat. When I first looked at this, it really made me wish that I could go camping. Let's turn that off. Go back to camp mode. So camp courtesy lights, turn the display off, floodlights, level truck. I've used that one time and it's really neat. It does exactly what it sounds like. If you're parked on a hill, if you have a rooftop tent or a tent on the back of your vehicle, and you do, if you know, for people that like to do a lot of camping like that, it's a pretty common thing. You hit level truck and it automatically uses the air suspension to level the vehicle. Outlets over there, that's the household style electrical outlets that I mentioned before. And let's see, we can go back to navigation. I'm in the garage. It's nighttime right now, so the display is dark. Obviously, this will change colors outside or in the sunlight. Over here, I've added a little phone holder. Center console, tons of storage down here. I didn't mention underneath the console, we've got a couple things. We've got some pop-out cup holders. It's only got 2. Some people say that's not enough. That's plenty for me. I remember my 1972 Buick Electra didn't have any cup holders, and it had 4 ashtrays and 3 cigarette lighters. And you know how things have changed. It also has a pull-out Bluetooth camp speaker down here, which you can sync to your phone if you are camping, or some people just like to use it in their garage, or you know, if they're at an event where they want to have a picnic or whatever, where they want to play some tunes, you can just pull that speaker out. There's some third parties that are working to redesign this to turn it into a secure locking area. So for example, if you wanted to put your wallet, if you had a weapon or something in here that you needed to securely lock, there's some third parties that are working on turning this little space into something else. Right now it's just got the speaker in there and center console. I put a little tray for some junk, some speakers. There's a wireless phone charger under here. I usually use a USB cable, just charges a little faster. I got a bunch of junk in here. There's 2 more USB-C ports in here. Here's the storage where I record my video clips to, if I had to record any video clips. Hard copy of the owner's manual in case for something is wrong with the vehicle and you're not able to access it through the dashboard. There's that. And one other thing I forgot to show. Let's see. Actually, before we get out of here, let's pull up the HVAC controls. These are really neat. And in that it gives you, there's your heated steering wheel, your heated seats, cooled seats, controls for the front, controls for the back, which right now, and you just tap on anything to turn it on and off. So right now they're off. Let's go over to the front. So with just me in here, I've got the air on all 4. When my wife gets in the car, she says, "Honey, it's too cold." So he'll come on here and just turn that off, and then the cold is only blowing on me. You can turn on floor vents, auto, different fan speed settings. Turn that back down, recirculate. Heated seats, cooled seats for the passenger. Over here is pet mode. This allows you to turn on certain aspects of the HVAC system if you have a pet in the car that you need to leave for a short period of time. So it'll automatically adjust the climate control so that your pet is comfortable in the vehicle. One last thing I forgot to show you, because this is an adventure vehicle, it has a flashlight in the door. And it is super bright. As many of the features of the new Rivian R1T pickup trucks as I could. As always, I'm still learning a lot, and I'm sure there's a few things that I forgot or obvious things that I missed when recording this. I really love this truck, and it's so great to not have to go to the gas station anymore. It really saves me a lot of time not having to worry about buying gas. Again, with our reduced rates that we have here at my home, I was previously spending over $300 a month on gas, and with this electric truck, I'm now spending less than $60 a month to keep it recharged. So it's a significant cost savings with the electricity rates in my area. Obviously, again, your area may be different. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. There are many forums, including Rivian forums, Rivian owner forums, and a Reddit page, as well as social media pages on sites like Facebook, where people can discuss these vehicles and learn more about them, as well as the Rivian.com website. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Have a great day. Thank you. Stay safe out there.